A deadly series of explosions rocked Tehran on Friday close to a pro government rally attended by top Iranian officials. The demonstration marked the annual Al Quds Day held on the last Friday of Ramadan to show solidarity with the Palestinian people. AFP journalists reported loud blasts across the city as black smoke rose above Tehran. According to Iran's state media, at least one woman was killed near the demonstration where crowds waved flags and banners reading Dead to America and Dead to Israel. Top officials, including Secretary of the Supreme National Security Council Ali Larijani, President Masoud Pezeshkian, and Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, attended the rally. Speaking on state television, Larijani called the attacks acts of fear and desperation, asserting that a strong power would never target peaceful demonstrations. Iran's foreign ministry warned that the United States and Israel would face an unforgettable lesson in response shortly before Tehran launched a fresh salvo of missiles toward Israel. The conflict, which erupted on February 28 with US Israeli strikes on Iran, has now engulfed the Middle East. Cities are in ruins, bread is being rationed, and millions are displaced. The United Nations estimates that up to 3.2 million people have been forced to flee their homes within Iran, while the health ministry reports more than 1,200 deaths since the war began. The fighting has intensified beyond Iran. US and Israeli forces claim to have struck over 15,000 targets since the start of the conflict, with Friday marking their most intensive bombardment yet.
From day one, as our nation expects and the president demands, our warriors have fought with lethality, precision, and rapid innovation. In fact, today will be, yet again, the highest volume of strikes that America has put over the skies of Iran and Tehran. The number of sorties and number of bomber pulses, the highest yet, ramping up and only up. Our will, it is unshakable. Iran's leadership is in no better shape. Desperate and hiding, they've gone underground, cowering. That's what rats do. We know the new so-called not-so-supreme leader is wounded and likely disfigured. He put out a statement yesterday, a weak one, actually, but there was no voice and there was no video. It was a written statement. He called for unity. Apparently killing tens of thousands of protesters is his kind of unity. Iran has plenty of cameras and plenty of voice recorders. Why a written statement? I think you know why. His father, dead. He's scared, he's injured, he's on the run, and he lacks legitimacy. It's a mess for them. Who's in charge? Iran may not even know.
Iran has responded with waves of drones and missiles targeting neighboring countries hosting US military assets. Saudi Arabia intercepted dozens of drones, some aimed at its capital's diplomatic quarter, while Turkish forces intercepted a ballistic missile from Iran over their airspace. Even civilian areas have been affected. Black smoke was seen over the Dubai following drone attacks, and 2 people were killed in Oman from falling debris. In Israel, a strike on the town of Zarzir injured around 60 people, leaving burned vehicles and craters behind. Lebanon has been severely hit, with at least 687 deaths reported from Israeli attacks, and AFP images from Beirut show buildings reduced to rubble and overturned burned vehicles. The war has also claimed foreign lives. French President Emmanuel Macron announced the death of a French soldier in northern Iraq, killed by an Iranian drone during counterterrorism exercises. A US refueling aircraft also crashed in Iraq, killing 4 crew members, though officials said this was not due to hostile action. The Tehran Al Quds Day rally, intended as a show of unity and defiance, has instead highlighted the escalating human cost and regional spread of the conflict. For millions of Iranians, life under the bombs is tense and uncertain, with shortages and fear now part of everyday life.